How to screen record on MacBook. Shift Command and 5K. What's happening, people? Yeah. Oh, f***ing hell. I don't know. Yeah, come in. Very sorry. My dog, the cutest dog on the planet, just peed on the floor and I had to go clean it up. Today we are watching Living in a $2,000 per month apartment in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Today we are watching Living in a $2,000 per month apartment in Pittsburgh. This is CNBC Make It's newest series, Unlocked. So let's get started and see what it's all about.
So being a college student, we've had to put a lot of thought into actually how we're gonna afford this place. A lot of the money that comes from this apartment actually came from summer internships, but we also had to cut back on our spending during the semester in order to make sure that we'll be able to pay rent. Welcome to my...
It would appear the guy's relatively frugal. He's cutting down his spending so he can afford his rent. I don't know what it's like to live in Pittsburgh, but it seems pretty responsible to cut down your expenses to make your rent.
College apartment in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My name is Ben Boxer. I'm 21 years old, living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in a 2-bedroom apartment. The apartment costs $2,000 a month, but my portion of that is $800 a month.
So $2,000 a month. Again, I don't live in Pittsburgh, I don't know the going rate, but the flat I live in Scotland is a 2-bedroom and it is £475 per month for the mortgage. So $2,000 a month seems pretty high, but that could be the going rate, I don't know. So we can see there in the bottom right hand corner, there's an office. I'm surprised that the landlord hasn't closed off the wall between the kitchen and the office and turned the office into a 3rd bedroom. He's obviously not greedy.
What we decided to do was I would take one of the bedrooms for myself and pay $800 a month. And then my 2 other roommates would split the other bedroom and each pay $600 a month. So that way it's kind of more fairly split based on how much space we each have.
So this one seems odd as well. It's a 2-bedroom, there's 3 people living in it. If there's an office space as well, I don't understand why there's 2 people sharing a room when that office space could be used as a 3rd bedroom and everyone can get their own room. For $600 a month, I'd like my own room personally.
So I'm a huge nerd when it comes to technology, so I really wanted to try to make this place as techy as possible. We set up all the lights so that they're smart home lights, so everything can be controlled right from my phone or by speaking to the HomePods in the corner of the room. It's been super cool for like when we have a movie night, we can dim all the lights automatically. And also it allows us to turn on and off the lights whenever we enter or leave the apartment, which has been really cool.
So when I said how much my flat cost, I didn't include utilities. All my bills are obviously out with my mortgage, so the $2,000 a month seems slightly better, but it still seems a little steep.
When we were looking for a place, we knew the one thing for certain was that we all wanted to live together and we all wanted to pay less than what the dorms cost. And so we were really trying to find a place that would allow us to save a lot of money and have more space in the process.
So currently he's paying $800 per month on his portion of the rent, and at the university dorms he's paying $1,103. So he's saving himself $300 a month and he gets his own room. The same can't be said for his roommates.
This apartment worked perfectly. It's been super nice to actually be able to see them safely and still get to hang out, still have fun. We can still study together, which has been great. So even though this apartment is a lot more affordable than something like living in the dorm, it is a little bit challenging to manage the money, considering basically it all has to come from savings over the summer and then it gets slowly dwindled down each month. Me and my roommates have all set monthly budgets for ourselves when it comes to eating out, so that way we aren't encouraged to eat out as much and we can really track our spending and make sure that the financial situation of living in an apartment while being a student works out.
This is pretty good. Most people that I know who are students or were students tended to live off of takeaways for a lot of the time. A lot of takeaways. So obviously they've found a balance where they can live together in this nice apartment, but they have to make some sacrifices in the way they're spending, which is good.
Because there were so many students in this area trying to look for a place as a college apartment, we knew that we had to start very early in the process. That's why we actually started over the winter. This apartment actually came from a suggestion from a friend. They had lived here in the past and they had said this was a great place right near campus for college students, and so we checked it out and we loved it. There were enough open units for us to actually move in, and the places were really, really nice. So I think the day after our tour, we ended up signing a lease for August of 2020, and that's when we actually moved in because that's when our senior semester started. The process to actually acquire this...
That seems crazy to me. Signing the lease 8 months in advance, that seems pretty crazy.
Place was super easy. Normally there's like a lot of paperwork that goes into actually getting an apartment, but for this, all we had to do was sign the lease, make those initial payments, and then I think we were good to go. So because we had planned to move in an apartment for a very long time, we had all accumulated and saved up enough money to actually cover these upfront costs. So when we signed the lease in December 2019, we had to pay an upfront cost of about $4,000. $2,000 of that was a security deposit and the other $2,000 was paying off last month's rent. And then when we actually moved in August, we had to pay our first month's rent. So
this is the good bit, the apartment tour. This is the exciting part.
I live in North Oakland in Pittsburgh, and that's right in between University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon's campuses. And so this really is very much like a college-focused area. There's a lot of restaurants nearby, and it's super easy to actually access them. I actually have my own skateboard, and so I ride that thing around. So this apartment has the basic amenities. There's an elevator to the upper floors and laundry in the basement. There is a 24/7 doorman, which is kind of nice.
I think that's pretty crazy as well. That's something that's very different to what I'm used to personally. For students, at least in America, it seems that most apartments don't have washer, tumble dryer, things like that. So you have to go out and do your laundry. I didn't realise how spoiled I was being able to walk from my bedroom to my kitchen to do my laundry, to then just hang it out to dry inside the flat and then put it away without having to leave the flat.
So let's start off this tour at the end of the hallway in my bedroom. Both bedrooms are pretty large and about the same size at 12 by 15 feet, and I've utilized that space very well. I put both my bed and my desk in my room, so that's where I sleep and get most of my work done.
That's pretty good actually. My room has nowhere near enough room for a desk. We're in my spare room at the minute. There's t-shirts hanging up to dry over here. My girlfriend gets ready and does her makeup and her hair and things like that. In that corner, there's a spare wardrobe that's full of clothes that hardly get worn. The jackets get hung up here. So that's pretty good that he has room for his bed and his whole desk setup where he can get some work done as well.
I've also added a lot of cool techie things since I am super obsessed with technology. I have a projector in there, a whole bunch of smart lights, and it's really nice. So one of the big investments I actually made for this apartment was into my desk. I actually spent well over $7,000 on a nice desk setup to work at. And this was something that I had saved up for well over a year. I knew as soon as Apple released their new computer, I was gonna get a new desk setup. It coincided with right around when the pandemic hit. And so now I have a really nice place to work in this apartment, get a lot of work done, and I've been super productive.
I don't know what kind of work this guy does out with college. I don't know if he works as well as going to college. I guess that he does. But $7,000 on a desk setup. $7,000. That's like 9 months of his portion of the rent. I hope the work he's doing at that desk is generating some income as well as some university work, because he needs to cover the cost of that desk.
See, I have this big metal rack that Amazon actually makes, and that allows me to utilize the vertical space very well. I also installed this motion light strip at the very top of my closet. Then the other half of my closet, which you can actually access through another door in the hallway, is what I call my gear closet. You can see I've got my lighting equipment down here, tripods, got drones, GoPros, cameras, all of my lenses, ND filters. Now moving on from the bedroom, we get to our front hall foyer. Here you can see I got a nice little table. We got our pantry full of food over here. Got my roommate's bedroom down there. Even though my roommate's room is the same size as mine, because they're sharing it with 2 people, they didn't put as much stuff in there. They actually have their desks sitting in our dining room, which was converted into an office. And so that's...
Okay, so there's the answer. The office room couldn't be converted to a 3rd bedroom because it's being used as an office by the other 2 people. $1,200 a month for that room. $600 each for a single bed. Personally, I would not be paying that if I could be paying $800 and getting the full room to myself and that big wardrobe.
Where they actually spend most of their time working at their desks and getting homework done. Our bathroom, I'm so used to living in a dorm where a lot more people are sharing a bathroom. And so having 3 people sharing one bathroom has actually worked out pretty nicely. And then...
This guy likes tech so much he's got lights in the toilet. Is that necessary? I don't think so. Pretty cool though.
We get into our kitchen. This is a nice little cozy kitchen, so we had to figure out some ways to actually save on space in here. That's why we got things like this drying rack right here, which sits over the sink, keeps our counter space clear, as well as this magnetic knife holder right here, which allows us to have the knives ready to go for cooking, but also keep them out of the way, and I think it just looks pretty cool. So this room is really the heart of the apartment. This is where we hang out the most, where all of us just sit around. We eat our meals here. We have this massive couch, which everybody in the pod comes and hangs out on. This was actually a black IKEA coffee table, which I then covered in this like vinyl wooden flooring. We have a ton of fake plants all around the room. Got nice wooden furniture all around. So since all 3 of us are college students on a budget, when we were actually setting up this apartment and buying furniture for it, we were really trying to save as much money as possible in actually setting it all up. That's why most of our furniture is either purchased from IKEA at a really low price or actually brought from home.
Cannot go wrong with IKEA. I love IKEA. This desk's from IKEA. My chair's from IKEA. My mirror's from IKEA. My drawers are from IKEA. My bookshelf is from IKEA. Trusty.
So overall, I think we got a stellar deal with this apartment. We've been really fortunate to have this experience, getting to all live together during this crazy semester. And so I'm really happy with both how much money we're saving on this apartment, how much space we get, the opportunity that we can all live together, and still getting to have as much of a college experience as possible. While it's been really nice living in this apartment, unfortunately all of us are graduating in the spring, and so we will be moving out and into our own respective places wherever we get jobs. I think I'll miss my friends the most and not so much the actual apartment, just because like as soon as I graduate, like I don't know if we'll ever all be in the same spot at the same time again, unless maybe one of us gets married. And so I'm really trying to enjoy that, live it up, and just have fun during my senior year.
So all in all, the $2,000 apartment was actually $800 per month from this guy's perspective. It seems like he actually might be getting a good deal in this apartment for the $800 compared to his friends who are paying $600 each for a single bed, and they have to share it with their friend. So the people living in this apartment, or Ben's 21 years old, so I presume that his 2 friends are also 21 years old. At 21, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed sharing a bedroom with someone else. But that's student life, I suppose. So I'm wondering if CNBC will continue with this Unlocked series. Honestly, I don't think it's quite as enjoyable as Millennial Money. I find Millennial Money more interesting to hear about people's incomes, what they do for jobs, and their spending habits, rather than just their apartment. But this is only one episode. It would be pretty cool to compare this guy's $2,000 a month apartment with something at the $40,000 mark in Manhattan, for example. But thankfully in Scotland, I'm paying less than £500 for my mortgage for this 2-bedroom flat on my own, and I much prefer that personally. And that's us for today. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this reaction style video. It's a bit of an experiment, I don't know how well it'll be received, but give me some suggestions in the comments and other content I can make. And as always, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you next Friday. Take it easy.